Welcome to Urban Odysee. Today we're exploring one of Europe's most iconic cities, Barcelona, Spain. From its stunning architecture to its lively streets, Barcelona offers a unique blend of history, culture, and modern flair. It's a city that effortlessly blends its rich past with a vibrant present. You can wander through ancient Roman ruins, marvel at the genius of Gaudi, and then savor some of the best tapas in the world, all in an afternoon. In this video, I'll show you some of the must-see spots in the city, those places that really capture the soul of Barcelona. Let's dive in. Alright folks, let's talk about La Sagrada Familia. You simply can't come to Barcelona without being awestruck by this masterpiece. Antoni Gaudi, the visionary architect behind it, poured his heart and soul into this basilica, and it's been under construction for over a century. Now some people might say, a building site? Really? But trust me, this is no ordinary construction zone. It's a living, breathing testament to Gaudi's genius and the dedication of generations of artisans. Take a stroll around the exterior and you'll be greeted by these incredibly intricate facades, each one telling a different biblical story. Look closely, and you'll see all these little details, like sculptures of animals, plants, and even everyday objects. Gaudi believed that nature was the greatest architect, and he incorporated those organic forms into his work. Then, step inside, and prepare to be blown away. The interior is like stepping into a forest canopy with these soaring columns that branch out like trees. Light streams in through the stained glass windows, casting a kaleidoscope of colors. It's truly a spiritual experience even if you're not particularly religious. Now, a little pro tip: book your tickets online in advance. This place is popular and the lines can get long. You don't want to waste precious sightseeing time queuing up. Trust me, La Sagrada Familia is worth every euro and every minute you spend marveling at its beauty. Next up, we're off to another one of Gaudi's creations, Park Güell. Imagine a public park where everything feels like it's straight out of a fairy tale. That's Park Güell. It's a whimsical wonderland of colorful mosaics, serpentine benches, and playful architecture, all nestled on a hillside overlooking the city. As you wander through the park, you'll notice that nothing is quite what it seems. Staircases lead to hidden grottos, columns resemble giant trees, and the famous mosaic lizard seems to be perpetually smiling at you. It's like stepping into a child's imagination where anything is possible. Be sure to check out the main terrace where you'll find that iconic serpentine bench. It's not just a bench, it's a work of art. Gaudi designed it to mimic the curves of a human spine, so it's surprisingly comfortable to sit on, and the views from here, simply breathtaking. You can see all of Barcelona spread out before you, from the Mediterranean Sea to the mountains in the distance. Now here's a little insider tip. While most of the park is free to wander around, there's a monumental zone that requires a ticket. This zone includes some of the park's most famous features like the Gaudi House Museum and the colorful mosaic salamander at the entrance. It's definitely worth paying the small fee to experience this part of the park. Now let's dive into the heart of Barcelona, Las Ramblas. This is the city's most famous street, a bustling pedestrian boulevard that stretches for about 3/4 of a mile, connecting Plaça de Catalunya with the bustling port area. It's a sensory overload of sights, sounds, and smells, and it perfectly captures the energy of this vibrant city. As you stroll down Las Ramblas, you'll be surrounded by a constant flow of people, locals going about their day, tourists snapping photos, street performers showcasing their talents. It's a place where you can feel the pulse of the city. Keep your eyes peeled for the human statues, those talented street performers who stand perfectly still, often in elaborate costumes. They only move when someone drops a coin in their hat, so be sure to reward their artistry. And speaking of artistry, Las Ramblas is also home to the beautiful Gran Teatre del Liceu, one of the most famous opera houses in the world. Even if you don't have time to catch a performance, pop your head inside to admire the grand foyer and the ornate auditorium. Of course, no trip to Las Ramblas would be complete without a stop at La Boqueria, the city's most famous food market. This place is a feast for the senses, with stalls overflowing with fresh produce, seafood, cured meats, cheeses, and every kind of Spanish delicacy you can imagine. Chapter 4. Barri Gòtic Echoes of Medieval Times. Get ready to step back in time as we venture into Barri Gòtic, Barcelona's enchanting Gothic Quarter. This is the oldest part of the city, a labyrinth of narrow cobblestone streets, hidden squares, and stunning medieval architecture. It's a place where you can easily lose yourself for hours, discovering secret corners and soaking up the atmosphere of centuries past. As you wander through the maze-like alleys, imagine the footsteps of Roman soldiers, medieval merchants, and Catalan royalty who once walked these very streets. Look up, and you'll see remnants of the city's Roman past, like the fragments of the ancient Roman wall that still stand in certain areas. One of the highlights of Barri Gòtic is the Barcelona Cathedral, a magnificent Gothic masterpiece with a soaring nave and beautiful stained glass windows. Don't miss the cloister, a peaceful oasis with a fountain and a gaggle of geese. Another must-see is Plaça Sant Felip Neri, a small secluded square that bears the scars of the Spanish Civil War. Bullet holes from the conflict still mark the walls, serving as a poignant reminder of the city's turbulent past. And if you're looking for a unique souvenir, Barri Gòtic is home to countless artisan shops selling everything from handmade jewelry and leather goods to traditional Catalan ceramics and textiles. Chapter 5. Casa Batlló and Casa Milà, Gaudi's architectural wonders. Now let's head to Passeig de Gràcia, one of Barcelona's most elegant avenues, to feast our eyes on two more of Gaudi's architectural gems, Casa Batlló and Casa Milà. These buildings are like sculptures you can walk through, each one showcasing Gaudi's unique style and his ability to blend Art Nouveau with his own organic vision. First up, Casa Batlló. This whimsical building is nicknamed the House of Bones because of its skeletal-like facade. Look closely, and you'll see balconies that resemble grinning skulls and columns that look like bones. But don't let the spooky nickname fool you. This building is pure magic. Step inside, and you'll be greeted by a kaleidoscope of colors and shapes. Gaudi designed the interior to mimic the underwater world, with stained glass windows that resemble bubbles, ceilings that evoke the ocean's surface, and a central light well that looks like a giant ribcage. Just a short walk away is Casa Milà, also known as La Pedrera, which means the quarry. This nickname comes from the building's undulating stone facade, which resembles a wave or a ripple in the sand. Gaudi was inspired by the natural world, and he wanted this building to flow and breathe like a living organism. Be sure to head up to the roof, where you'll find a whimsical collection of chimneys and ventilation shafts that look like giant chess pieces or abstract sculptures. The views from the rooftop terrace are also incredible, offering a panoramic perspective of Barcelona. Chapter 6. Barceloneta Beach, sun, sand, and seafood. All this sightseeing can be tiring, so let's take a break and head to the coast for some relaxation Barcelona style. Barceloneta Beach is the place to be if you're looking for sun, sand, and that laid-back Mediterranean vibe. This is Barcelona's most popular beach, and for good reason. It's easily accessible from the city center, and it offers a welcome escape from the urban hustle and bustle. As you step onto the golden sand, take a deep breath of that fresh sea air and feel the warm Spanish sun on your skin. Find a spot to lay down your towel, kick off your shoes, and let all your worries melt away. If you're feeling active, there are plenty of ways to enjoy the water. Rent a paddleboard or kayak and explore the coastline, try your hand at windsurfing or kite surfing, or simply go for a refreshing dip in the Mediterranean Sea. After working up an appetite, head to one of the many chiringuitos, those casual beachfront restaurants that line the sand. Order up a plate of paella, the iconic Spanish rice dish, or sample some fresh seafood grilled to perfection. And of course, no beach day is complete without a refreshing glass of sangria. Chapter 7. Montjuic Hill, Panoramic Views and Cultural Gems. For our final stop, let's take a scenic journey up to Montjuic Hill, a hill that rises above the city, offering breathtaking panoramic views and a wealth of cultural attractions. There are a few ways to reach the top. You can hop on the funicular, ride the cable car, or if you're feeling energetic, hike up the winding paths. Once you're at the top, prepare to be wowed by the views. You can see the entire city spread out before you, from the Sagrada Familia's spires to the glittering Mediterranean Sea. It's the perfect spot to capture those postcard-perfect photos and soak up the beauty of Barcelona. Montjuic Hill is also home to several notable attractions, including the Montjuic Castle, a 17th-century fortress that now houses a military museum. Explore the castle ramparts for more stunning views and delve into the city's military history. For art lovers, the Fundació Joan Miró is a must-visit. This museum is dedicated to the works of Joan Miró, one of the most famous Catalan artists. You'll find a vast collection of his paintings, sculptures, and tapestries, all showcasing his unique surrealist style. And if you're visiting during the summer months, don't miss the magic fountain of Montjuic. This spectacular fountain show combines water, light, and music in a dazzling display that will leave you mesmerized. Outro! Until next time, Barcelona! That's a wrap on our Barcelona adventure. Whether you're a fan of history, architecture, or simply soaking up the local culture, Barcelona has something for everyone. From the whimsical creations of Gaudi to the lively atmosphere of Las Ramblas, this city will captivate your senses and leave you with unforgettable memories. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more travel tips and hidden gems around the world. See you on the next Urban Odysee.